What's up guys, Darkdally here playing Ghost Recon Wildlands. Today we're playing Ghost Mode and I want to start a whole series on strategies, tactics, loadout ideas, and ways to get through Ghost Mode, because the whole idea of Ghost Mode and Ghost Recon, if you're just starting it and don't know all of it, or if you haven't tried it yet, is that you can't die. Death is permanent. Death is very, very permanent in Ghost Mode. But the rewards are awesome. I mean, if you're into this kind of thing, like this armor right here, let's put my weapon away and zoom out. If you like this kind of outfit, now here I've got everything put together except for the back piece. That's what I'm working on now. So first, here's what I want to do in this video. I want to lay the groundwork for the series, and I want to talk about ways to approach Ghost Mode, the evolution of my loadout, how it came to be the way it is, maybe some ideas for you to try, individual mission strategies, how to get through a mission without dying, overall tactics for the thing, and well, that's what we want to talk about. So first, let's have a look at like overall tactics. I've done pretty good so far. I've had one death. I have had one death. I lost 9 hours of progress and had to start over. Since then, so here we are. This is probably 30 hours in right now at this point. I've done quite a bit. After only one death, I learned a lot. I've come back. I've taken down 3 of the wings, and I have 1 left. Now, we're going to be at this screen for a second here. I want to talk a bit about Ghost Mode. Actually, let's talk about Ghost Mode here where it looks cooler. All right, so Ghost Mode is a new mode, and it's really interesting because Ubisoft has incorporated a lot of the ideas we put forth in our immersion. You know, a lot of our gameplay immersion ideas are here in this. For instance, you can only change your loadout at ammo boxes. You can only carry 1 weapon. That's also something I suggested. I was like, why do we have to carry a second weapon? And a lot of my role-playing kind of immersive builds, I ran a super shorty on the other hand and colored it the same color as my backpack just to pretend I didn't have anything there. Well, now they've given us that. They've delivered that and more. They've also delivered permadeath. Permadeath for me is a very scary prospect. All right, so you want to make sure that you do these in an order, in the right order, basically. So let me show you the order I did it in and why I did that. When I first started Ghost Mode, I started up here in security because Ataqua is security, so I figured, okay, I'll start off with security. Now, every time you complete one of these wings, 100%, you get a new piece of this exoskeleton, like cybernetic looking armor that you see me wearing here. Every time you complete one of those wings. So, and those are permanent. Those carry over. If you beat one of these wings and then you die and your character will get erased, you have to start over. Doesn't matter. You've unlocked it. You've unlocked it. It's available in every mode of the game and it's there. But the trick is to get through all of this and get the full set. And now the trick, actually the trick is just to defeat 3 of these. And I'm going to get into that here in a second. Now, Ricky Sandoval doesn't seem to matter. Let's actually go over. There's a special Ghost Mode screen. Ricky Sandoval is kind of separate. La Capra, she's separate. That down there, it says unknown. That must be the Undead conspiracy I don't have. And then El Cerebro, let's go back to the map. There are 2 special missions in Caimanes. You notice here that I don't have those done. I'm missing 2 missions here, but the, smuggling is still 100%. And the reason for that is one is Predator and one is the Sam Fisher mission. Now, thank God they didn't require us to do the Predator mission without dying because, yeah, again, if you die, you lose everything. So let's look at strategy. I started with security. I just did the obvious thing. I started with La Yuri and El Palito. Then I did El Pazzolero. That allowed me to do La Plaga. I believe I did La Plaga, Carl Bookhart, and then all that was left was General Barrow. Now, that's where I realized my first mistake. Florida Oro isn't necessarily difficult, but things can go wrong when you're surrounded by that many Unidad, and things did for me, and that's where I lost my first 9 hours of progress. That's where I learned, do the hard stuff first. So for each wing of these, each of these wings, you want to start with the hardest, work backwards to the easiest. That way, if you fail, you're losing less progress if you follow me. The second time I did this, I started with General Barrow. Then I went to Carl Bookhart, which is probably the second most difficult. El Pazzolero, La Plaga, I don't recall being very hard, and you're in Polito, I did it like last, and then I did El Muro. Bam, done. That way, if I failed on Florida Oro, I had a very small amount of stuff to go back and redo. So I started with that. Now, with this done, that unlocked me the boots. That's the other reason I started with security. The boots are the one most useless piece of gear. You're never going to see it. Get it first, get it out of the way. That way, all that's left to get is good gear. Now, Let's talk about overall strategy. So wing strategy for each of these wings, start with the hardest, work backwards towards the easiest. And that's going to differ player to player. For instance, this one right here, the Nydia Flores mission, is one that I dread a lot. For some people, it may be easy. For me, I dreaded it, and I did make it through without dying, of course. And that will be in an upcoming video tutorial where I try to show the easiest ways to do these things. All right, so overall strategy is this. You need to get at least 2 wings down. You need to get at least 2 of the head buchones down. In this case, El Cardinal and El Muro, and then unlock El Sueño. Here's the thing, guys. Let's go back to the ghost mode screen. You need to take down El Sueño to get the helmet. That's actually not showing it because I already took him down. But in order to get El Sueño, you have to take 2 wings down. That means, so you got your wing strategy. Each individual wing of his organization, you want to start with the hardest, work backwards towards the easiest. But you want to pick the 2 easiest wings first. Pick the 2 easiest wings and work those down so you can get to El Sueño. Get that headpiece. Okay, so here's what I did. So I did security. And then for me, influence was easy because I've done these so many times, especially El Cardinal. I've probably done that mission so many damn times that it's just like clockwork now. So I was like, I know I can do influence. For one of you guys, maybe production is easier. Pick the 2 wings you know you can get down, then do El Sueño. That, in this case, this gave me the boots here. This down here gave me the chest, and El Sueño gave me the head. With El Sueño down, now I could technically afford to die. You see, because I've got him down. I got this hard part out of the way. Because if you die, it does delete your character, but you keep what you get. Now, over here, so I'm sorry for talking so long about this. There's a lot I want to go over. So over here, after El Sueño, I did the smuggling wing. And had I died here, all I would have lost is just that progress. I would have started over, and yes, the whole board would have been wiped, but I already have El Sueño's prize. So all I needed to do was smuggling, and that gave me the legs. Well, as it happens, I'm still alive, still kicking, so we're going to go through production. Now, if I were to die right now, all of this would disappear. To be clear about Ghost Mode, all of this stays. You only get the 400 prestige points once. So all this stays, but your actual progress does not. I would lose all this. If I were to die right now, I would lose everything here, but I keep all the gear I have. All I have to do is just do production. I'm kind of at a good point right now. I'm at the point where all I have to do is production. Bam, that's the last piece of the set. Now, let's go have a look at this set of gear really briefly. Let's just look at one of the pieces. Just look at the chest, exoskeleton, torso. There's 3 colors. This color here is when you first get it, it's just this color. Once you hit level 30, you unlock this color, as I have. Once you hit tier 1, which I probably won't put that much effort into this. I can't see myself actually hitting tier 1. You unlock carbon gold. We'll see if that day ever comes. All right, so I wanted to lay out kind of my basic strategy, the strategy of the individual wing strategy, where you do the smuggling, I keep calling them wings. I don't know what to call them. You do the smuggling, the production. Say you're doing smuggling, start off with what you consider to be the hardest one, the one you're worried about dying the most, and then slowly work easier and easier. Now, another thing I learned doing this, as I progress through different weapons, let's have a look at my loadout. Let's go over here to an ammo box where I actually can look at my loadout because I really can't look at it properly right here. My weapon loadout and my playstyle in general relaxed quite a bit as I was playing this game. I started off, let's go to my loadout here. There we go. I started off with using a suppressed primary weapon. That weapon slowly, for me, got shorter, smaller, and unsuppressed. And I'll tell you why. Oh, I want to talk about skills too. We'll talk about skills. I'll have a separate video maybe for skills, or maybe we'll talk about it here. Anyway, I started off with the 416. Let's go. I'll show you the guns that I've used so far, and then we'll move right along. And I totally passed up assault rifle. There it is. I haven't bothered to unlock everything, just the stuff I've wanted to try out. Here is the weapon I started running Ghost Mode with. I started running... Why does it not have a suppressor on it? I started with a suppressor. There we go. This right here is what I started the game with. Actually, I must have gone back and changed some part of this. This is not what I was running. And I didn't have a real attachment at first. This is weird. This right here is basically what I was running at first. I don't know what happened, what reset the weapon. Okay, first thing, when you start off, you're not going to have much weapon selection. What I suggest, let's actually go back. I suggest using one of the DLC modifiable weapons. Like, it's going to start you off with the P416. You're not going to have any attachments for it. I suggest using the R4 or the 416 or the MDR, things like that. Modifiable DLC weapons. Why? Because they come unlocked with many of those parts already, such as optics. All of those weapons automatically have all the optics unlocked. At least they did for me. So I was able to start off with an ACOG scope, a vertical grip, etc. Pretty good stuff. Now, so I started off with the 416. I moved on to the MDR. This was my MDR build that I used. And that's where I started going loud. I started going loud when I had the MDR. The MDR served me well through a large part of Ghost mode. I can go into more detail with these weapons here. I'm kind of breezing through this right now. I started off and I realized that once I got comfortable with Ghost mode and I got comfortable throwing myself into the fray, knowing I wouldn't die, I started using loud weapons. Why? Because I didn't have the advanced suppressor skill. And I was really trying to pick up all the damage that I could. Oh, how about that? We can buy a point in ammo capacity. Nice. And just the thing in general is I got more comfortable being loud. And you'll see that in some of the clips. So when I went to the MDR, I think I have some footage of me with the MDR taking a base. And I'll show that now. Now, once you get more comfortable using loud weapons and staying on the move and keeping your team up, you can swap weapons.
Fucking grenade, watch out! Grenade, grenade!
Well, after the MDR, I decided I wanted something different. I swapped to the SR3M. Here's my SR3M build I was using. Here we have, I've started getting louder and shorter, as you can see. I have this thing chopped all the way down. Grenade launcher is really essential. I don't think the suppressor is essential. I've taken many huge, 5-alarm bases, no suppressors, because I go in with my pistol first. I go in with my pistol. Once the shit hits the fan, what's it matter if you have a suppressor or not? So I go in with my pistol. Once that's no longer viable, then I swap to my AR. And here, this was a really good setup for me. The only problem I had with this is its lack of penetration. Seemed to me like I needed something a little bit more for alerted heavy units. That's when I saw out what I'm currently using. Oh, I believe I also have some footage of me with the SR3M really kicking ass. That thing really, really kicked ass. The SR3M was a real shit stomper on the yard. I mean, it really was. But I wanted something a little bit more, and that's when I went with what I have now. So this is my current loadout. If you guys want to know what is Darkdally using in Ghost mode, this is my #1 favorite. Now, it's going to be different for everyone. I'll tell you, Ghost mode has taught me more about my weapons than I've ever learned from testing, because you have to rely on this, because if you die, you're dead forever. So, like in real life, so it's like I learned to really rely on my weapons, and this for me is what works. I want it short, quick aim, grenade launcher. Let's look at the parts. Here's the parts I have on it. The red dot sight, I want the quickest. I actually thought about using just iron sights, because what I've been doing tactically, and we'll talk about this in future videos in this series, tactically, of course I'm running arcade mode. I didn't mention that. I'm running arcade mode. I'm sure 90% of the people doing Ghost mode are running arcade mode because they just want to get through it and not die, and that is the best way to do it. I'm running arcade mode. Generally what I do is I walk in and I have my team of lovely ladies here line up all the sync shots for me. So I have them sync the sniper. So I'm not doing any sniping. All I'm doing is close firing like this. And this is a really great weapon to do it. This has it feels to have a faster reload than the SR3M. It definitely punches through body armor better, and it maneuvers just as well. So that's why I've gone with this short little stubby AK-12. When I first go into a base, the thing I'm using is my P12. It's just a stock P12. It's a complete stock P12. And that's all up to you. It doesn't matter what pistol you use, because if you're undetected, it's one shot, one kill anyway. If you are detected, then you'll probably only be using your pistol if you're out of ammo for your primary. All right, let's talk about one other thing here, and then we'll call this video, and we're going to start in with mission strategies and more specific things for Ghost mode. Let's have a look at skills. Skills you want to really aim for first. Ammo capacity. It's going to happen. You're going to forget and you're going to reload, because one thing Ghost mode does is it makes it so that if you reload, you're dropping everything that was remaining in that magazine. Physical things such as bolt resistance. That's going to be a big one to go after first. You want to be as tough as you can so you can take a few shots. Car shield under physical, and car vehicle destruction under weapon are both very important. Yeah, you want to stay alive in your car. Time to aim is something that just takes a while to get to, unfortunately. I just now did get like 1 point in this. This is important, at least for my play style. But let's look at more universally important things. Your drone is going to be very, very important. Battery and range are the top two things. And you do want to fill up this whole tree because medic is going to be your saving grace. Medic is the number one, I would say, most important skill in the game, in the game mode of Ghost mode. In Ghost mode, medic drone is the most important thing because when your whole team goes down, I've had this happen several times. My whole team went down, and then the whole mission's on me. If I die, it's game over. My character is deleted. I have to start completely over from scratch. So medic drone is your number one thing, but it's going to take a while to get it. Some squad skills are also good, such as revive speed, squad resilience, and extra sync shot. If you play like me, extra sync shot. I pull into a base. I have my girls sync shot the first 3 snipers, or one group of 3 to 4 guys, and then we move in and we take the place. All right, guys. So that's my intro to Ghost mode. I hope I gave you guys some decent strategies, ideas, and tips. There's a lot more to come. The following videos will be much more focused, and on each one will be one particular point. For instance, mission guides. We'll have loadout guides and things like that. What I'm looking forward to most is the specific mission guides. I've already recorded a couple for El Sueño and El Sueño's Bible. That's there's some missions that there's easy ways to do them without dying, and that's what you want. You want insurance against dying because you don't want to die in Ghost mode. Am I right? All right, we'll hit those up in future videos coming very soon. I'm having a blast in Ghost mode. I might just see if I can take it through Tier 1 mode. I don't know if I can or not. We'll see. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Tell me, hopefully you're excited to see some Ghost mode content coming up. I want to cover this entire mode because I'm having so much fun with this. It's so immersive, even though I'm dressed like a robot from the 30th century. For me, this is very immersive. This armor is screw the immersion. This is a trophy you wear on your body. It's a trophy of all your accomplishments. Who cares if it's immersive or not? The gameplay sure as hell is. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Darkdally. Guys, it's been a real pleasure. I will catch you all next time.